Hey guys, what's up? It's Jack here today, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my review of WWE Payback 2015. Yeah, the show was aired last night, and I watched it live on the network. Obviously, living here in the UK, it's quite a late night, so that's why my review is a little bit later on here today. But yeah, overall, this show was definitely what I was expecting it to be, and what I was hoping it to be. It was a great show, start to finish. I really enjoyed this show. Definitely for me, this is the second best event of the year so far for WWE. So yeah, really good show. So I'll get into it. With the pre-show match, we actually had two matches. We had R-Truth versus Stardust, which I believe wasn't announced, but this was like just a little bonus match. This was okay. It got both of them on the show. I haven't really seen much of either of these guys at the moment, ever really since WrestleMania. But it was an okay match. R-Truth won, which I wasn't expecting. I really don't know what WWE are doing with Stardust. I don't know what they're going to plan to do with him. Personally, I think they should just bring him back to being Cody Rhodes, because at the minute things aren't really going well for him. So the match was okay. It was a decent match. So I'll probably give it like a solid 2 stars. Then we had the Ascension versus Curtis Axel and Macho Mandow. So, this was, Sandow came out to Macho Man's music, and then Axel came out to Hulk Hogan's music. It was a comedy match, Axel started hulking up in the early going, and then he hit the big boot and the leg drop. And then, the Ascension kicked out, and then when Sandow got the hot tag, or Mandow, he got the hot tag, and then he came in. He was going to go for the elbow drop, but it never occurred, and then the Ascension actually picked up the victory with like their double team move they do here. I wasn't expecting the Ascension to win, but I'm kind of glad they did. At least maybe WWE have got some kind of future plans for them. But this was a comedy match. It was short, which is what it needed to be. So I'll give it like a 1.5 star. It did what it needed to do, and it was fun to watch. Then we actually move on to the show. The show kicked off with Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. This match was better than their previous match at Extreme Rules. They had more time, and I just felt they had more chemistry here. Ziggler really went in on the offense straight away. He was literally gaining the upper hand on Sheamus, delivering a lot of shots, and then he hit like a massive dive outside the ring off the top turnbuckle. And then back in the ring, it was very back and forth. It was quite a vicious match at points. I mean, there was towards the end of the match, Sheamus headbutted Ziggler, and then back when Sheamus had the corporate lead locked in on Ziggler, Ziggler got to the ropes, and then Ziggler's face, about at least half of it, proper busted open. And in the end, Sheamus was able to pick up the victory after delivering a bro kick to Ziggler after Ziggler was down on his knees. So, solid match between these two. Really enjoyed it. Good opener. So, I'll probably give that 3 stars and a quarter. The next up, we had the New Day versus Cesaro and Kid in the 2 out of 3 falls match for the Tag Team Championships. This was a great match right here. This was the match which I was thinking could possibly steal the show. And I think it didn't steal the show for me. I think, the Fatal 4-Way did, but this was probably the second best match of the night for me. It was just phenomenal from start to finish. These two really work well together, these teams. Xavier Woods was brilliant outside the ring. He was getting a lot of heat off the crowd. The first fall came after about 5 minutes, I believe, after Cesaro and Kid done their finisher, which was, the Cesaro swing, followed up by Tyson Kidd delivering a drop kick. And then after that, Xavier tried to actually get in the match with the referee, but he wouldn't allow it with the 3-man rule. So it was just Kofi and Big E in this match. And, Tyson was a real star in this match. I mean, there was a point when Kofi, delivered a high crossbody off the top turnbuckle, but Tyson countered it with a incredible drop kick, and he just literally stood in the same position afterwards. It was brilliant. But Kofi and Big E get the second fall after they did their finisher, which was like Big E's big end, followed up by Kofi delivering like a leg drop. So that was really good. And then the third fall came after Xavier Woods actually sneaked in the ring without the referee noticing, and he was able to get a quick roll up on Tyson, I believe. But this was a phenomenal tag team match, very great stuff. I believe if this was given about another 5 minutes, this probably would have stolen the show. But very great tag team match here, very good stuff. Yeah, both teams give a lot of credit to. They really did put on a great match here. So, yeah, 3 3/4, very good match. Then next up we had Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that was next. Yeah, this match, I wasn't heading into this match expecting it to be very good. I was thinking it was going to be a bit of a boring big man versus big man match. But surprisingly, it really was a pretty good match. I wanted Bray Wyatt to win. He needed to win this match. You know, coming off after WrestleMania with The Undertaker, Wyatt wasn't even on Extreme Rules. He hasn't really had many matches as of late, so I kind of felt that this was a must-need win for Wyatt. And it was pretty good. You know, they were delivering quite a few big shots to each other. You know, I believe when Bray Wyatt delivered like that kind of dive, he delivered like a dive to Ryback on the outside of the ring. You know, Ryback was laying down on the floor, and then Wyatt delivered. It's not like a leg drop. It's like where he kind of does that slide onto, you know, from his back. So he done that onto Ryback, and I don't know if he actually did break one of Ryback's ribs, but Ryback did have to get checked out after the match. So Ryback was in quite a bit of pain there. But Ryback also done pretty decent in this match. You know, I'm not a massive fan of him, but he did actually look pretty good in this match. He delivered like a big splash off the top turnbuckle. That was pretty good. But in the end, Wyatt got the victory with his sister Abigail. But they gave this match a bit of time, and it wasn't boring. The crowd actually were quite into it as well. But like I said, it was a must-need win for Wyatt, and he got it. So I'm going to give it 3 stars. I really enjoyed this match. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. This was probably the only match I thought might not be good, but it was good, so I was happy. Then next up we had the United States Championship match, the I Quit match between John Cena and Rusev. This was like the first of the 2 main events. I was heading into this match expecting it to be great, but I did have that bad feeling that maybe it might turn out to be a bit disappointing. Matchup started off pretty average. You know, Rusev dominating the majority of it. You know, just delivering quite a few big drop kicks to Cena. They didn't really introduce many weapons in the match, but Rusev was working a lot on Cena's arm. Cena would have his typical comebacks here and there, but when the steel steps were involved, things heated up a little bit, and there was a point on the outside of the ring when Cena did try to throw the steps at Rusev, kind of similar to what he did to Bray Wyatt at that last man standing match at last year's Payback, but it never happened. But they fought in the crowd, but Cena, it was really good where he was trying to get Rusev to quit, and he even said to him if he doesn't quit, he's going to spear him through the barricade, and he did. He speared him through the barricade. That was a brilliant moment. Really ran out a really good aggressive side of Cena. They fought in the crowd a little bit. I think Rusev went for a table. That was pretty good. And there was also a point when Cena actually like AA'd Rusev into the pyro area, where a load of pyro went off. So that was pretty cool. And then back in the ring, Rusev actually undone one of the ropes from the ring, and he got the accolade locked in on Cena, but Cena wouldn't give up, obviously, and in the end, Cena was able to gain the upper hand and deliver the STF with the ring ropes. And then Rusev was shouting out like Russian, shouting out some stuff in Russian. You know, I have no clue what he's saying. And then Lana got in the ring, and then she quit for Rusev. So this was what I think everyone was expecting to happen. I think definitely Lana was gonna, you know, not screw Rusev over technically, but quit for Rusev. So we all knew this was gonna happen. So I don't think this made Rusev look weak in the end. I think it kind of is going to, it ended up having him and Lana's relationship ending now. I just hope that, he doesn't fall into a bad position there. Hopefully maybe he can still remain one of WWE's top heels. I just hope something looks good for him. I mean, maybe he could. I don't think he's going to win the IC title because I think Sheamus is the ideal. That's the rumour at the moment that Sheamus might win it. But maybe, I don't know, maybe Rusev could feud with someone like Randy Orton next, I just hope they keep him in a good position. But this match was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a very good match. It wasn't a classic, but I wasn't expecting it to be a classic I Quit match. But it was probably better than what I was expecting it to be. So I'd give it 3 3/4 as well. I thought it was a very good match. But Lana quitting for Rusev was probably what I think everyone could see happening. But it was a pretty good match though, so that was good. Then we have the Divas match next. This was Naomi and Tamina versus the Bellas. Short but decent, I kind of think this match could have been given a little bit more time, but it didn't, but it was pretty decent. Naomi and Tamina picked up the victory here, so it's basic Diva stuff. I'll give it about 2 1/4. It was pretty decent. Then we had Neville versus King Barrett next. This match was alright. It wasn't as good as their 2 previous matches. They had a great match at Extreme Rules kickoff last month, and then they had a very good match at the King of the Ring finals. This match was okay, but I just felt they didn't really up their game very much. And then Barrett lost by count out. They were both on the outside of the ring. Neville got back in the ring. It got to a 9 count, and Barrett was about to get in the ring, and then he just grinned and left it. I can understand they didn't want either man to lose, because I thought that, because this was quite a hard one to predict. but I kind of felt maybe why don't they do a double count out, or why don't they have it end by DQ or something? I just didn't like the idea of Barrett. It made Barrett look weak in my opinion. So I think this rivalry is going to continue, but he didn't really do it for me for that. So I'll give it 2.5. But the finish really I wasn't a fan of. And then we had the main event, the fatal 4-way for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship: Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Very good match here between all four of these guys. Everybody went for Ambrose in the early going, but everybody went for Rollins in the early going. But Ambrose and Reigns took out J&J Security, and then Orton and Rollins were having a bit of a back and forth exchange. Ambrose really got a good spotlight in this match, which was really good. The highlight for me was when the Shield reunited for about a minute or about 30 seconds. Randy Orton was, trying to take apart the announce tables, and then I think Reigns and Ambrose started to attack Orton, and then Rollins got involved. Then they done the triple power bomb. The crowd were going mental because this is what we were really hoping we were going to see. We were going to see hopefully like the Shield maybe reforming like that slight little moment, and that's exactly what we got. Afterwards, Reigns and Ambrose took out Rollins, and then Rollins and Kane. They put them both through the announce table. They had to do it twice though, but it was pretty cool. Then Reigns and Ambrose had a good back and forth exchange, which Reigns hit a spear on Ambrose, and then Rollins interrupted the pin, and then Ambrose was able to hit Dirty D's on Rollins, and then Kane interrupted the pin. And then Kane took out both Reigns and Reigns and Ambrose with the steel steps, and then Orton got back in the ring, delivered 2 RKO's to J&J Security. Then he was about to deliver an RKO to Rollins, but Rollins pushed him away into Kane. Orton would RKO Kane, and then Rollins would hit a pedigree on Orton. It wasn't a great pedigree, but it was what it was, and then that done it for Rollins. He got the victory. I definitely thought Rollins was going to win here. I did think maybe we could see a heel turn from Ambrose or Reigns. I couldn't see Orton, obviously, turning heel again, but overall, this was a great match. This was the best match of the night. I definitely thought this was going to be a great match nonetheless. You couldn't really go wrong with a match like this between these four. Definitely impressed me. The crowd were red hot throughout it. The Shield, the little tease with the Shield was really good. I thought that was what we needed to see, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'll give that 4 stars. That was a great main event. So yeah, overall, Payback for me was a great pay-per-view. Like I said, it's probably the second best event of the year so far. Very good show. Most of my predictions I got right. I think I actually got all the winners right. I think it was just Neville and Barrett. I just didn't predict the count out, but I don't think anyone really predicted that. But yeah, really, the thing I like about this pay-per-view was there was not any matches on here that I disliked. There was nothing on it that disappointed me. Everything was, either just as good or even better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, really impressed with this. So I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, anybody who hasn't checked this show out, I highly recommend you do. Definitely check out the main event and the tag team match, the tag team championship match. Definitely check out them too. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching.